A lot of punk people love Star Wars, so does that make Star Wars punk?
Hello.
They both exploded onto the scene in the late 1970s. At first glance, they seem like they'd be galaxies apart, but use the Force and you'll find that they're opposite sides of the same galactic credit. Need some proof? Check out this Venn diagram. All the cool kids dig them both. Greetings, people of YouTube. Welcome back to
Pick the Base.
Star Wars is a billion-dollar franchise that's owned by Disney and exists to sell toys. That doesn't sound very punk to me, so why all the love? Beneath the lightsabers, spaceships, and merchandising, Star Wars is punk as At its core, it's a story about standing up for what you believe in, fighting the system, rejecting conformity, and building something better out of the ashes of empires. That's not space opera, that's space anarchy. Come with me to a galaxy far, far away as I dig deep into the rebel alliance between Star Wars and punk rock.
Let's do this!
Let's start with the obvious. It's all about the rebellion. Early Star Wars, especially A New Hope, felt handmade, gritty, and imperfect. That rawness resonates with the punk ethos. Punk rock was born in basements, garages, and dive bars. It thrived on low budgets, raw energy, and doing it yourself, even if you barely knew how. And that's the rebellion, a ragtag crew of outcasts, deserters, and idealists taking on a galactic superpower with beat-up ships, second-hand blasters, and sheer nerve. The X-Wings aren't shiny. The Millennium Falcon is held together by duct tape. The Rebel base is a cave, and their war room looks like a punk squat. The Rebels don't have polish, they have passion, just like punk rock. Star Wars offers a version of rebellion that's scrappy, emotional, and underdog-driven, just like the young punk in their bedroom who thinks they can change the world with their songs. And the Rebels versus the Empire, that's the DIY scene versus the system. The resistance is built on punk values. Star Wars speaks to the misfits, and the misfits are punk. Punk is about tearing down the machine, and the Empire is the ultimate machine. It's clean, it's uniform, it's faceless, and it's fascist.
It's fascism.
Fascism. Wonderful.
Star Wars knows you can't reason with an evil empire. You have to burn it to the ground. Stormtroopers aren't people, they're enforcers of authoritarianism. TIE fighters scream like sirens. The Death Star is a corporate headquarters built into a military base. The Empire represents what punk has always pushed back against. It's about control, oppression, and a world that values order over freedom. The Empire is a fascist machine, and there's nothing punks hate more than fascism. When Luke tosses his lightsaber in Return of the Jedi, he's not just rejecting the dark side, he's rejecting the whole system.
Never.
Luke is refusing to play by society's rules and will not conform. It's a giant middle finger to destiny. He's staying true to what he believes in and sticking up for the downtrodden. That is so punk. Han Solo is most definitely punk. The leather vest, the bad attitude, Han shot first. He's a rebel and a badass. Leia, she's the original riot girl. She has zero patience for nonsense. She tells off warlords, leads revolutions. She's a force to be reckoned with. Lando, he's all about space glam. He's more Bowie than Black Flag, but it still counts.
Times sure are changing.
And then there's Luke. Luke starts out as the most Midwestern emo kid that ever was. As he goes through his hero's journey, he discovers the misfits, starts wearing all black, and goes full goth. Even visually, the rebels are all chaos and color, while the Empire is sterile and soulless. Star Wars says you don't have to look or act a certain way to matter. When you're a rebel, everyone's welcome. In punk, you make your own style. In Star Wars, that might mean spray painting your Mandalorian armor or flying a freighter that no one else would touch. The rebels could show up at a punk show and no one would bat an eye. They would blend right in and would be accepted as part of the tribe. Up the Punx. No one has ever accused John Williams of being punk. The scores for the movies are about as far away from punk as you could musically get, but punk isn't always just about the music. It's also about the energy and the vibes. Listen to the Cantina Band. It's chaotic, it's weird, it doesn't belong. That's punk.
This place can be a little rough.
The Cantina looks like CBGB's. Mos Eisley stylistically is a weird mashup of steampunk and space punk, and the tunes fit the vibes. The tunes at Jabba's palace might not be the most punk, but half the people there are dressed up like they're at a Sex Pistols show. Now look at shows like Andor. It's got diegetic, DIY, street-level music. There's industrial noise, protest drums, clanging metal. It's raw, it's angry, it's alive, it's punk. Andor made it official. Star Wars isn't just about blowing things up, it's also about waking up. The Andor series is about organizing, sacrificing. It's about how systems crush people until they push back. It's everything The Clash was trying to teach us.
And everybody's doing just what they're told to.
Luthen's monologue, it's poetry. It's self-sacrifice for the greater good. It's idealism at its best. Kino Loy's speech that pushes the prisoners to rise up, he might as well have been quoting Joe Strummer. The only way to beat the oppressors is by banding together. There's strength and power in a crowd. The funeral riot in Ferrix, that's a straight-up punk uprising. Marva gives the masses the final push they needed to join together and fight the system. It's no longer about the self or the moment, it's about the big picture. This is really where the rebellion starts. Andor is the Sandinistas in space. It's sci-fi social commentary at its best. It's so punk. Alright, let's talk about the mouse in the room. Star Wars is owned by Disney, the Coruscant of the entertainment industry. That's about as corporate as it gets, and it's most definitely not punk. You couldn't escape the Star Wars machine if you tried. It's everywhere. They plaster that shit on clothes, food, soap, furniture, even pets. If it's up for sale, there's a Star Wars branded version out there. So yeah, Star Wars is super corporate, but punk never had clean hands either. The Sex Pistols were on a major label. Green Day has sold their soul every time they've had the chance. Rebellions need funding, and there's nothing wrong with that. What matters most is that the spirit survives. Besides, Star Wars wasn't always so corporate. The original trilogy was totally punk. George Lucas was an indie innovator. The machine didn't believe in his project, and Star Wars was rejected by almost every major studio until 20th Century Fox decided to take a chance. George sacrificed his directing fee to retain merchandising and sequel rights. That made him a billionaire and stuck it to the man super hard. That seems punk enough for me. Star Wars was never just about the Jedi, the clean-cut politicians, or the noble captains. It's about the smugglers, the rebels, the ones who build something from nothing. Star Wars is about the people who fight back, even when the odds are impossible. That's punk.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
Both punk and Star Wars are about feels, fighting what's unfair, and escaping to somewhere better, whether that's the Outer Rim or the Warped Tour. So yeah, maybe it's weird that punks love Star Wars, or maybe it's perfect. Star Wars is built on the same values that built punk rock. Star Wars is art and culture. Star Wars is punk as Well, now we know why so many punks love Star Wars. Did I miss anything? Do you agree with me, or am I way off? If Luke gave you his demo, would you listen to it? Are there other franchises that are more punk than Star Wars? Let me know down in the comments. Finally, please make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the YouTube stuff. I know it's annoying to hear that all the time, but it really helps. I'm having a great time making these videos, and the more that I know that you're enjoying them, the more that it motivates me to continue. I'll catch you next time, but until then, be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes! See ya.
Thank you.